Good evening and welcome to our newest edition of the MOSHAPE Minute powered by Heart Zones. My name is Chris Stehle, board member and your weekly host of the MOSHAPE Minute. We have a very special edition of the MOSHAPE Minute today as we are introducing the three Missouri representatives that won Central District Teachers of the Year, and I am joined by my colleague, Director of Digital Media and Promotions, Guy Danhoff. Guy, how's it going, buddy?
You know what? Doing this edition has got to be one of my favorite of all time. I had the chance to do Back in Shape Tampa, got a chance to do Teacher of the Years there, to do this for the Central Districts right here from Missouri, the Show Me State. This is a great day for all of us.
So first and foremost, guys, for people that don't know, can you introduce our three Central District Teacher of the Year award winners?
Sure. Our first one to introduce is going to be Jennifer Werner. She is actually a graduate from Lindenwood. And Jennifer, if you could you tell us a little bit of background about yourself and your teaching and how long you've been teaching?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is my 14th year teaching. I spent 13 years in Wright City School District. My first year was high school, PE and health, and I coached varsity volleyball. I coached JV basketball and track. And then my second, third, and fourth year, I had stepped out of PE and taught an alternative school, all subjects, from grades 5 through 10th. And the past 10 years, I've been at the middle school PE level. 8 of those years were at Wright City Middle School. And the past 2 years, I've been at Wentzville Middle School. And that's pretty much my experience.
All right, go Wentzville. That's all I'm going to say on that one. All right, our next person we're going to interview is Amy Schulte. She actually graduated from Missouri Baptist University, the home of the Spartans. So, Amy, tell us a little bit about your background in teaching.
Thank you very much. I have been teaching now, this is my 20th year, and as many have said, it almost feels like your first year all over again, but it is actually year 20. I started out, I've always taught for the Wentzville School District. I started out my first couple years doing the adaptive PE program throughout the entire district when we were a much smaller district. And then I got to transition into teaching health and physical education at Timberland High School and have been there ever since.
All right, awesome. 20 years, 2 decades.
Yes.
It's a lot of experience right there. Exactly. All right, our last award winner is Dr. Katie Seversen. And Katie, you graduated from Lindenwood, is that correct? No. Sorry, no. Southern Illinois. I heard you are quite the softball star. Any truth to that?
Yes.
All right, good. See, I finally got the notes
We were in the top 16 and ranked my last 3 years, and yeah, we had a great run.
Very cool. So talk to us about, obviously, after graduation, you got into the teaching profession. Give us a little bit about your background.
So I've been teaching for 15 years. I actually started out in math. So I started at Rockwood South and taught math for 7 years. And then there was an opening in PE. And so I transitioned still at South into 6th grade PE and switched last year to Crestview Middle School, still in the Rockwood School District. And this is my 2nd year there. So 15 years total, 7 in math and 8 in PE and health.
8 in PE. Chris, what do you got for him next?
Well, I got to say something about Dr. Seversen there. I'm a big softball fan. Being from Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners have a tremendous softball program, and softball is one of my favorites. I actually umpire high school softball in Missouri. So that's
fun.
So,
yeah.
Next question is going to go to Amy. So, Amy, obviously, a few months ago, you were announced as a Missouri Teacher of the Year. And now just recently you've been announced as a Central District, Shape America's Central District Teacher of the Year. What was your reaction when you found that out, Amy?
Just so much joy and shock, honestly. I remember because it was a crazy virtual day because we just went full virtual at the high school level. And I'd been on the computer all day with my students, and then I took my lunch breaks and I'm looking on Twitter, and all of a sudden I see the announcement, and I was just so excited and so happy because I just know what an honor it is. And then I was kind of shocked. I'm like, wait a minute, out of everybody, they really picked me. So then it was absolutely crazy, but it's such an honor to know that that they felt like I was deserving of the award. So it was a lot of excitement.
Yeah, very much so. And I will say, because I know all three of you are going to say this talking to you before, that you were shocked you were picked, but trust me, you all three deserved it. So Dr. Seversen, same question for you. What was your reaction when you found out about the Shape America's Central District Award?
I think kind of like Amy, like just very grateful, but also shocked. And, happy and excited because I know that a lot of what, we're being recognized for really speaks to things that our kids are doing. And so I know a lot of times, like, we get the credit for things like this, but really our kids are the ones that are leading that. And so, it's a way to highlight their work and all the wonderful things that they're doing. But same thing, I'm just really grateful and appreciative and, excited to have the honor and just the learning experience that it'll bring as we kind of move forward. And I was talking to several staff members today, and it was, I'm just excited to connect with other educators and learn what they're doing. And I've heard this process is just really a valuable experience. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, just very grateful and thankful for the honor.
Hey, Guy, that's a definition of a teacher of the year right there, when she gives all her credit to her students right there. So that's great.
Well, but it's true.
I'm excited to ask Jennifer a question because fun fact, Jennifer and I actually have close family friends that I didn't find out about until recently. So, and I'm from a little town of 2,000 people. So that's pretty cool. So Jennifer, same question to you. What was the reaction when you found out about the award?
I was shocked. So Amy and I, we're representing Wentzville School District, and the night before it was announced, we were recognized at our school board meeting in reference to the State Teacher of the Year award. And when I started getting contacts about it, I was a little confused, and I thought it was in reference to the state award. And it took me about 3 hours to figure out what actually was happening. And I immediately went to my building principal and a couple other leaders that I work with, and I said, I don't know how to act to this. You want to be humble, but it's also, one of them made a really great comment, which was dear to my heart and so true, is if we reflect on every student that we've impacted and or coached, that truly, just in agreement to what Katie had said, that truly is why we're doing what we're doing. It's for the kids. And that is what really kind of molds why we're here today. And I also feel very honored. And I'm very excited just to this endeavor. And yeah.
Jennifer, thank you all three for sharing. And I think that's what's so great about our profession, as you could see, talking about the kids and how we provide for the kids. And Jennifer, Amy, I think you need to contact your school board and say, hey, we need another board meeting because we just won another one. So Guy, go ahead with your next question.
All right. So ladies, you guys know that, Chris and I and Mary, also won a Central District Award, which we're very humbled for as well. And ours was a lot due to because of what we were doing with social media during COVID-19, right? We put out a lot of programming, as you guys know. You guys have been following us, as well as, putting on the virtual convention and other things. So this was, very COVID related. Well, you're the first and only class to date to ever have this award during COVID. And I think the question I'd really like to ask is, because we've heard this repeated, even from some of our SHAPE leaders to some degree, what has been asked of teachers has been unprecedented, not to overuse that word, but it truly has, where now you have to worry about not just face-to-face, you got to worry about hybrid, you got to worry about going completely online or virtual. And of course, you got all the CDC guidelines with social distancing. And I was just wondering if you guys could maybe share a couple of strategies that you guys have adopted so that you could be effective in all these different learning environments. And Katie, let's start with you with that question.
So I think Jennifer and Amy will probably say this the same, that it's very different than probably anything we've ever done before. And I was thanking my kids today actually because it's really been about adaptability, is how much can we adapt and change and try new things, and can we kind of go with the flow and adjust. And that's really what it's been about, is that, we had to keep it together and we had to find ways to do things. And that doesn't mean that what we've done before was wrong or not as good, but it is an opportunity to change it and make it better. And so we've tried really hard to do that. I'm fortunate where I am because so in Rockwood, we are doing both. So we had, first quarter was all virtual. So everything was online. And then second quarter, we offered an option for kids to come back into the building. And so we currently have both right now. Where I am, and every school is different, but where I am, we have a large enough virtual population that we were able to have one PE teacher dedicate to virtual and one dedicate to in-person. We teach a unit or a lesson, and then we'll flip. And so our kids are getting to know both of us and interacting with both of us. But we also felt like it was important, if possible, to give them a dedicated teacher. So someone in front of them who was going to give them their full attention all the time. That's not possible everywhere, not even within Rockwood.
Right.
Where our school is, though, it is. And so we felt every grade level was able to do that, and is doing that. And so again, how they're being taught is different based on where they are, whether they're in person or whether they're online. But they're still getting full attention of an educator, and they're still being pushed, but in a different manner. So our methods are different based on how we're approaching the curriculum. We're still encouraging them, though, to have a voice, to make change, to do things in a variety of different ways. But like everyone will probably say, it has to look different based on the setting. And so, again, it's really just been about adjusting and making it work to the best of our ability. And we are very fortunate where we are to be able to do that. But like I said, every teacher in Rockwood is not. And so it kind of just was the way that it fell for our building. And so we're trying to do that in general. But yeah, it's been very different. But like I said, we've still been able to do some really amazing things with our kids, and they've done a remarkable job with what we've given them, and still been able to do some truly amazing projects with us.
Absolutely. And Katie, thank you so much for that transparency. This is why I asked this question. I mean, it is different. We, no pun intended, right? For myself, we have to zag, right? We have to change direction. We have to pivot. And that's why I like hearing these stories. And now, Amy, I'm going to ask you the same question. How have you been able to, what strategies have you used to be effective, knowing that you've had to now, look at all these other learning environments that you have to basically provide instruction to?
Well, first off, I want to congratulate you guys too on your award, because you guys have been a wonderful platform for helping all of us out. Because I will tell you, I've had to do a lot of zagging. I really have, trying to figure out how to adapt and how to do new things with technology. It's just so different for me. And to be honest with you, whenever I kind of got into physical education, and and I also teach an outdoor pursuits class, and a lot of things that I've done over the years, it's been, we're disconnecting from technology and we're going to be one-on-one with each other, and we're not. And now I have to go totally opposite. So that has been a learning curve for me, for sure. But it's been a good one, because there's been a lot of good reflection. So I think as long as you take things in positive stride, that's what's going to be extremely important. But there's so many wonderful resources out there with Shape America and with Open, and with all the different PE teachers just pulling together to help each other out. That was so uplifting, and it started last spring, which has been extremely helpful. And I know I've been using those resources, and to be honest with you, all your colleagues at school are extremely important resources as well. But talking to the kids, keeping those connections has been key. We are full virtual right now. We started off in hybrid at the high school level. And I can honestly say this whole last week of virtual was not bad. And I was scared of it a little bit, because I was afraid kids wouldn't necessarily jump on like they have, and they've been there. And we've been having amazing conversations, and kids have been using breakout rooms and having good conversations. And they're asking to stay on to keep talking with each other and, talking with me, whether it's about like what your favorite cereal is. I mean, it has been great. They just want that interaction. And I think making sure that keeping them in the forefront and asking them questions, how did you like this? Did you not like this? And they're honest, sometimes brutally, but they're going to let you know. But that way you keep making it better and you keep growing and, improving. So it's been challenging, but it's definitely been a great way to self-reflect and, look at your why and figure stuff out. So I've actually enjoyed it, I can say.
Well, yeah. And Amy, you're spot on. I mean, you are. It's really starts with our mindset, right? Really, when I call zagging, all it is a mindset. It's just the mindset that we're going to pivot, we're going to shift, because we have to. We don't have a choice. I'm a teacher as well. I teach in the college level, but it's the same thing. I have to teach hybrid, right? I have live students in front of me, and I have a class on Zoom at the same time. That is synchronous, right? Well, who's been prepared to do that? Who's done that before? Now it's no big deal, right? Because I'm 15 weeks into it. But when you're first starting, you're like, oh, you know, I mean, how's this going to go? How are the kids going to react? And you're exactly right. It's about building those relationships with the students and them knowing how much we care. So with that, Jennifer, let's go to you to wrap this segment up. Talk to me about, you know, again, same question I've asked during the pandemic. You know, how have you pivoted or shifted, and what are some success strategies that you have to bring your, you know, learning instruction or your teaching instruction into all these different learning environments?
I do agree with everything that all of you have said in regards to relationships and just maintaining that aspect of teacher-student relationship and making sure that the kids feel safe. And I really think that with this transition with COVID into the multiple learning level styles, we've just really had to be flexible. And I really think our attitude and perspective is kind of how it needs to be followed. You know, if you're going to be positive, the kids, the students are piggybacking on our responses.
Yep.
And I think that's imperative. If we make it fun and we laugh with them, it lightens up the environment. And we're still able to follow our curriculum, and we're still able to try new things and let them know that, you know, we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to do this together, and nobody's perfect. And we're going to do it one day at a time. And
Yep.
you know, even allowing the students to help as resources, you know, keeping them on these virtual meetings a little bit later, like, hey, I need help. Like just letting them kind of coach us through some of that technology stuff. Cause I do feel a lot of teachers, no matter what subject, sometimes we need a little guidance from the kids. You know, and I think it's okay for us to be transparent in that aspect. But I've used this virtual experience, you know, as physical educators and health educators. You know, we simply think of the health triangle. You know, we push physical so much, physical, and now we've had an opportunity to reach more social, emotional, mental health. And
Yep.
it's honestly, it's been a beautiful thing. And I think the kids are responding amazing.
Jennifer, thank you so much for saying that. You've seen a lot of content we put out regarding social emotional well-being on multiple levels. Obviously, during our convention, we also had Shape America with Health Moves Minds, being joined by with Michelle Carter, as that was a big part of it. Was like, look, they've incorporated and they pivoted so much more content to SEL as a result. So to hear you say that, and all you guys obviously nodding your heads, I couldn't agree more. This has been great. If this had to happen, there's been a lot of great things that have come out of it, and SEL certainly is definitely one of those things. So thank you, ladies, for sharing those things. And Chris, we'll bring it back to you to bring it home.
Yeah, I just one comment on that SEL stuff. It's incredible to me that physical education teachers have pulled a positive out of everything that's going on. You know, back when I was in school, like I'm talking like when I was in high school, you know, Jennifer hit it on the head. We were so focused on physical health, like make sure you eat right and exercise and this and that. And I didn't know what social and emotional learning was when I was 17 years old, 16. I didn't even really know about it much through college up until my later years. And it's just, if one thing came out of COVID for physical education and health teachers, it's proven that, you know, for those ones that were on the line of we don't really need PE and health in our schools, it's proven like, hey, we teach the stuff that kids need right now. And I think that's huge. So yes, thank you, Jennifer, for mentioning that, because that's really big. So ladies, final question. It's my favorite time of the year. I love the holidays. I'm ready to get 2020 over with. I think most of us are. I don't know who was so excited for 2020 back when 2019 ended on New Year's, but I bet you they regret it now. I was excited, but good things have came. So with that being said, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. So Amy, first question for you. Is there anybody you want to thank, or someone you are thankful for, multiple people you're thankful for? Just kind of your parting shot here.
Well, it's really hard to just narrow it down, but my family, my friends, obviously, they've been so supportive, even during this time. With the extra hours that I'm spending on the computer or extra things here and there, my family has been absolutely amazing and supportive. And then my friends and my colleagues that are, you know, there for me. I have great resources at school that definitely help me out. So I'd like to give a shout out to Melanie there, because she definitely helps me out a lot. And we keep each other sane during this crazy time, but she definitely has been a great person to keep me motivated over the years and keep me pushing to get better. And, you know, all the MOSHAPE members, basically, because every time I go to convention, it definitely re-energizes me and gets me excited for the following year. So
Yeah, I'll echo that. Melanie is a phenomenal person. And yeah, I think we all kind of miss each other a little bit down at the lake in November for that energy piece. But I'll tell you, you three ladies doing what you're doing is energizing a lot of people. So Dr. Seversen, to you, same question. Anyone you want to say you're thankful for and give some final parting shots?
So yes, obviously, my family and my friends, especially, you know, I've had a busy couple of years. I finished up my doctorate. And so, you know, my family really stepped in to help, you know, with all the extras. My parents helped a lot with my boys, and they're actually teaching while working with my kids. They're doing virtual through Rockwood. And so my parents have stepped up to really help them. And so they can have the opportunity to stay home. But really just they're always supportive. Like anything that I wanted to do or try or find new ways to incorporate into my teaching, like, you know, they've always been there and encouraged me. You know, obviously the PE teachers in Rockwood, specifically at Crestview and at Rockwood South, so the two schools that I worked at. My teaching partner now, Megan Hayes, is amazing. And I love working with her because we're able just to throw ideas off each other and, you know, kind of put different twists on it and spins on it. But she's so creative, and she's kind of the opposite of me, like, you know, where I might be like this way, like she offers that other perspective and kind of pulls us back to that, you know, kind of well-rounded picture. And so I've just really enjoyed working with her. And then Dr. Lori Birkenmeyer, who was the head principal at Rockwood South, she still is. And Dr. Josh Walls, who is the assistant principal at Crestview. Both of them have really pushed me to grow and to learn and to keep trying new things and to open doors that allow our kids to do things. And then Dr. Patrick Fine, who's our coordinator, has really encouraged us as a department and as a group of teachers to be open to new ideas and try new things. And he's brought in speakers and, you know, given us all kinds of resources. And so I'm surrounded by a lot of really wonderful people who, you know, are all doing amazing things. And so you can't help but, you know, pick up on that energy and just be excited. And then obviously our students, because they're why we come to school every day, push through everything every day. And like I said, the things that I learned from them, which Jennifer spoke to, like, you know, I will ask them when I can't figure something out, and they always have an answer, always. And so it's just amazing, because I think sometimes kids don't get enough credit for all the things they know and can do. And that's really what our job is as educators, is to kind of highlight them. So, you know, right now we're kind of being spotlighted, but I truly believe it's because of the things that they've done. So I'm really grateful to get to work with such amazing kids every day.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Seversen. And I'll tell you, yeah, Dr. Fine, he likes to push us board members too to achieve new heights. And he's going to be great for us in the future with MOSHAPE. And a little thing, in case you missed it, DC, when he won his Teacher of the Year for Modesi, when he announced his cooperating teacher, he said he was going to break his plaque in half and give her the other piece. So I think you might have to do the same for your teacher that you work with as well.
I can do that. I'll even get her own.
There you go. There you go. So
I'll get her own.
There you go. Yeah, you don't want to break it. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I'll get her one just like it.
There you go. I think we know a guy. So final question. So Jennifer, same to you. Anyone you want to shout out, parting words for you winning the award as well?
Absolutely. First, I want to put a shout out to my husband. We have young children, and he's really been supportive through the whole process. And I just need to make sure that is known, because this wouldn't happen if he wasn't supportive. My entire family has also been supportive. I want to thank and do a big shout out to the Wentzville Middle School PE staff. I think I entered one of the strongest teams in the state, and I really truly feel that they've been very supportive, guided me a lot. I've learned a lot in the past 2 years. All the administration that I've had in my life, I've had administrators, especially Mr. Rich Lagaman and Mr. Doug Smith. They were in Wright City, but they challenged me and led me and impacted me just to be, I do believe, where I am today. There's so many people that I would like to say thank you to, and I know we don't have enough time to do that. All the physical educators in the state of Missouri and really nationwide that have just impacted and helped us. And most importantly, our students, the student feedback, the parents, the community, a huge shout out just to all of them for supporting the kids and just loving on the kids and supporting us.
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention, Guy, if you noticed, all three of them shouted out their families, and I think that's a big thing right now. You know, we're around the holiday season, and Guy and I are on more Zoom meetings than we're not, and you know, we talk. I actually, right before this, I told my wife, I said, hey, I gotta go do a MOSHAPE minute real quick, and she's handling a 4-month-old and a 2-year-old that just got the flu shot today, so shout out to her as well. So yeah, so that's been fun. So ladies, thank you so much. Congratulations again. You're representing not only yourselves, but Missouri PE teachers and teachers all over the country very well. Like I said before the show, Guy and I hope we're interviewing all three of you again very soon for National Teachers of the Year. That's going to be it for the MOSHAPE Minute today. Stay tuned because we are going to be releasing our podcast very soon, where all our MOSHAPE Minutes will be put on the podcast platform. And Guy, before we go, I believe you have a new zagging type of show you want to mention really quickly. Can you run that down real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, the new show that actually, it's not a show, it's called Zag Academy. It's going to be it's specific for 4 weeks. And it's going to be so that we can actually do critical thinking, and it's geared towards leaders and managers and administrators. We're not going to teach you how to actually do social media, but we're going to teach you guys how to social listen, how to even look at your analytics for better decision making and for planning. So that's something we're going to be rolling out very soon, and we're really excited to bring Zag Academy from the family from Zagging 101 to you guys, and again, so that we can get our voice heard more on all that social media platforms. And Katie, in case you didn't know, one of the administrators that you had mentioned, she shouted out on Twitter for you today. It was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was. Well, again, it's just great to see that top level support that you're getting. Again, why? Because we have the platforms, Twitter and others, to do that. So again, we're gonna be blasting this out on social media. But guys, again, I'm so proud of you guys and what you guys represent in our state. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, Chris and I, from the bottom of our hearts, and Mary, we are thankful that we get to tell your stories. That brings us great joy. And we know that we're helping advance our profession, because we want to hear from people like you guys. It's not about just winning the awards. It's about what you guys are doing and how you're pivoting and how you're managing through all the chaos, especially in 2020. I appreciated everything you guys had to say. Chris, yes, I appreciate you, my man. I'm very thankful for you, because we couldn't do this without you, my man.
Oh, I appreciate it. And thank you for everybody tuning in. Thank you to our 3 Shape America's Central District Toy Award winners, Jennifer Werner, Dr. Katie Seversen, Amy Schulte, joined by the Director of Digital Media and Promotions, Guy Danhoff. I'm Chris Stehle. Stay safe and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.